Hey guys, welcome back to Flying in Space with Planet Head. Of course, I start talking, she walks right in the room like a half a second later. I don't think she's jumping up. It's been a long day. But my eyes to my left. I'm going to try to jump into this as quickly as possible because sometimes I spend too much time at the beginning just babbling on. Um, this I did post a video earlier today. If you want to check out those videos, I'm kind of just doing a chronological set of videos. During the as I'm returning to Eve, um, and did some stuff around the house, jumping back into night. But if you want to check out the beginning of those videos and see me chronologically doing this, I will be posting the playlist of the videos in the description of this video. I'm not sure when I'll post this video, maybe tomorrow or the next day. But I had an epiphany while I was over watching a bad football game. Um, and so I thought I would just jump in and do a video as I am progressing with my thought pattern of doing it. Uh, and that is a very, very basic startup for both manufacturing and building ships for a beginner type person from the most basic possible way of doing it. Um, so the plan is I have, as you can see here, the uh, the ship trees up for Eve. And I'm going to go in and look at the ship tree real quick. I'm pretty sure I know the ships I want to use or the ship that I want to use to do this. But I thought I'd talk through my thought pattern on it. Um, then I'm going to look up at the market, see if I can find a blueprint original for that ship and go pick up that original, take it over to my temporary base that I'm mining out of, and then put it into research, or at least figure out what I have to do to put it into research there to get that up and running. I don't have the best skills yet to actually fly the ship because I'm trying to work on my manufacturing skills first. Um, but I can at least get into a research side of it and then start looking into the most basic weaponry and outfitting of that ship so that I can just do level one security missions. I know those can be somewhat boring for a lot of people who have played in the past. Me returning, it'll allow me to kind of get back into the groove of playing, and then it'll give me some stuff that I can think about and start from scratch. Um, Ultimate thought, and I don't know how long I can do this, but the ultimate thought is there is a uh, well, before I get into that thought, because I'm gonna have to fly from one place to another. So let's do what I'm gonna do first, and then while I'm flying there, I'll talk about my kind of thought pattern on it and the thing there. So let's look at the ships here. I am flying Galente. Um, and there are 6 different ships. If I remember correctly, I'm just going to run through them here real quick and hover over. You got the Navitas. They give you one of these free in one set of the career missions. This is your E-War ship. It's not really good for, well, for a beginner, it's not really a ship made to do missions with. It's got armor repair. So this is like your healer or your of your D&D group. Really not a good ship to be flying around in at the beginning. I mean, you can do some missions, I guess, but it's not the best there. Then you've got the Tristan. This is a combat ship mostly, and it is your drone boat of the uh, uh, whatchamacallit, the beginner ships, the beginner frigates for the Galente. It can fly, I think it might be the only, unless they've done updates since I've played last, the only frigate that can fly 5 drones. And a lot of you might be thinking, oh, this is the one he's going to use. This is not the one that I'm going to use off the top of my head, only for the effect of its main, while it does get a hybrid bonus, its main power is being able to fly drones, and to be able to fly 5 drones, um, the full flight of them, you would have to have drones level 5 to do so. And those would all be light drones. That takes at least 10 days, 9 days for level 5, and then the other skills below it. So you wouldn't be getting your full kind of bang of the buck at the beginning. It would take quite a while to really fly this ship. It is a ship that I will be planning into because if you're a Galente pilot, you definitely want to get your drones to level 5, drone skill to level 5 as quickly as possible. That's not the one I'm going to use here. We'll look over here at the Incursus. There's two ships here that I'm going to really think about, and I'm going to try to make a decision. I haven't yet, but the Incursus is one of them. Um, this is a combat ship. I think it has one drone. We'll take a quick look here. Blah, blah, blah. And its attributes. And yes, it's allowed to fly one drone. It also, I'm not going to delve deeply into the stuff here. We can do that in other videos. But its bonuses are it gets a little bit of a bonus to armor repairing, and then it also gets a bonus to its small hybrid turrets. There are slots and things like that. Not too worried about it. I just want to get a ship started. So this is one of the two. Go back the other way. The Mollis is I misspoke earlier. The Navitas is your healer ship. The Mollis is your E-war ship, your of your frigates. Again, not one of the better ones to start off with as a character. I think I've watched a few YouTube videos where people were flying these, just to be a little bit weird, but not great for a new player or a person who's getting back into it, just trying to do missions. And you guys can correct me if I'm wrong. I think e-war does not work, electronic warfare does not work against NPCs. And if that's the case, flying those ships most of the time would not be worthwhile when doing missions, just off the top of my head, especially when you're first starting. The other ship that I'm considering using is your Atron. The Atron does not have and I'll pull it up here, does not have a drone that I can use, but it does get better bonuses to its small hybrid turrets. And this is your, uh, and it's also a little bit faster if I remember correctly. So it while the and Cursus gets you your armor repair, hybrid, a little bit of hybrid bonus, and a drone. Um, the Atron gives you the hybrid bonus, and it is actually really good for tackling other ships. So it's really good for small gang tackling. A really good ship for people who are just jumping into the game and trying to help out with um, a fleet. I think I just talked myself out of the Atron. Okay, last but not least, of course, you've got the Imicus, which is your exploration ship. One of my favorite ships that are out there for a beginner, but not for what I'm trying to do. This is not something you're going to really want to get into combat with, especially at the beginning. This is you're going to wormholes, you're scanning down sites, things like that. Definitely be flying my exploration ships down the road. But to get off the bat, we are going to, I've talked myself into it. I'm going to fly the Incursus. Or at least I'm going to start building a couple and then use those. So where can I find the blueprint original for this? Now I don't want to get too deep into this. There's blueprint originals and blueprint copies. I'm going to go for an original so I can start researching that and have my own original copy. Um, so let's just show info here. I think if I go into industry, yes, okay, didn't change anything. And I hit Incursus Blueprint, view market details. I'm just trying to find out where the closest system is. I am sorry. Um, so literally I don't have to fly anywhere to get this Incursus Blueprint. There's one in my station that I can buy. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to buy this Incursus Blueprint and then take it over to where I'm slowly mining ore and then throw it into a research bin so I can build them for a lower cost and at a faster rate. And we'll get more into that probably in later videos. So I have accumulated some ISK from the career missions. I'm over 7 million. This costs 2 million. If you want to go on a cheaper route, so your Blueprint originals cost more, but they can do infinite amounts of runs. Um, and they can be researched to make the cost of building the ships lower. If you don't want to do this, you can buy blueprint copies off the market. You want to be a little bit careful with that. But usually the copies are already researched, but you can only build a limited number of ships from the number of copies that are there, or items, anything. So getting into the manufacturing side, trying to do that for the first time in a very long time, I'm going to slowly start trying to accumulate some blueprint originals, so that I can then have those around for later use and never have to worry about it. These get much, much more expensive as you go along. So, but I'm going to buy this one first just to get me started. Okay, we're going to buy this. 2,800. And there's other ways you could buy them and maybe get them cheaper. I'm not too worried about that. I'm not power gaming, just trying to get things done. So go ahead and buy that. I just had this fear again of my microphone not working, but it is. Hopefully I'm not too loud. Alrighty, so we got that there. There, we'll go ahead and close the. I always mess this up. There it is. Close the ship tree there, and we're gonna pick up the blueprint original. Throw that in here. And now this space that I'm in, or the station that I'm in, is just outside the career missions. I've got another spot that I'm kind of moved over to. That's in Miston. I talked about that in the last video, I think, or the one before that. Um, I'm going to actually leave this ore here. I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, I could carry it with me, but I still haven't figured out where my major home is. And my new place, I do have my mining ship there, my venture there, so I can always mine more ore while this is being researched. I'm not in any hurry of that part. So got that in here. Last but not least, I am breaking a rule of never fly around with a blueprint original in a non-defended ship. This blueprint original is not worth that much, so I'm not too worried about being ganked for it. But should you spend the time to research your blueprints and buy more expensive ones, definitely get a ship and be a lot more careful than I'm about to be in flying this around. You don't want to put yourself at risk in your blueprints, because let's say I spend the next, let's say I buy like 5 or 6 blueprints, and then I research them, and I take that time, and some of them take a very long time to research, and then I fly them from one area to another, but I don't defend myself and I get ganked. All that time is wasted. So obviously right now I just buy another blueprint copy, so I'm not our blueprint original for this one, but once you start investing time in this, be much more careful than what I'm being right now. So we're going to go ahead and undock here, and I'll be on my way. And I'll talk about, while I'm flying there, what my kind of goal is. Off the top of my head, could this change? Yeah, but it's why I want to do this quick video tonight, about kind of my what I want to do with this. So we're going to go ahead and get jumping. This nurse that I have came in the career missions. I got 2 of them for free during the entrepreneur and the industrial missions. I've got another nurse that's out there too. Really like these little industrial ships. They really get you around at the beginning of the game. You can really haul some stuff all over the place. They are a little bit slower, um, but you can definitely upgrade them and fix them with fittings. I need some coffee. So my thought, and this will probably take way too much time, but it'll be kind of fun, at least for a while, if not for a long time, is, since I'm coming back to the game, and I played it kind of down the road, down in different facets all over the place, whether when I first started being a miner, and then being long time ago, then moving out to player controlled nullsec, probably 10 years ago, to living on my own when I came back to the game and doing a lot of exploration, and then delving a little bit into PvP and being really bad at it. And that's when I was doing my videos and that sort of thing. Uh, and I have made a lot of stuff over time. If I'm going to go manufacturing, or try, or really living in high sec for a while. Then let's build some stuff and use it. Well, what's the best way to do that? Well, I can mine at any time. If I'm watching some YouTube videos, I can throw my mining ship out here in high sec. I don't, especially if it's a venture, I don't have to worry about too much about being ganked. And even if I do, uh, I'm not gonna uh, lose much from that. If I was mining in null sec or low sec, I'd have to be actively playing to keep myself safe. If you're smart, you do that. But I don't have to worry about that right now. I'm going to be building some very basic items while I'm getting back into the game, and so I can, on my downtime where I'm reading the news or watching YouTube videos or checking my emails, I can throw my mining ship out there and get some more. It's no big deal. Um, so while that's going on, I'll do some research, some blueprints of some really basic stuff. I've got this Incursus blueprint with me. I'll research that first. Then I will go out and I'll get blueprints for the most basic weapons, the most basic propulsion. The bonus of the ship is a repair, so the most armor repair, so the most basic armor repair, the most basic ammo. You get the drift. Um, and then I'll research those. And then I'll slowly start building some ships. Um, and this kind of comes from an old piece of advice that has always been around Eve for the entire time I've played, um, and that is you never want to fly a ship that you can't afford to lose. Um, so there's little tricks that you can do to that. One trick they say is go buy a ship. If you're afraid to lose ships, go out and buy 10 of that ship and fly them, like, especially if you're trying to learn PvP, fly them until they die. Aha! Skill training completed. Shield operation. And I'm doing armor. See, this is where you run into these issues. I just decided this was going on and I had shield operation pop up for me. I need to do some things. So, uh, long story short, that reminds me there. I'm going to build some really basic ships and run some really basic missions with them to get back to learning the game, relearning my shortcuts, watching some YouTube videos to try to get better at things. Um, it's really been a long time since I've done missioning and PvE as um, uh, a mainstay. So I'm going to really dig deep into this. Um, And this is a perfect example right here. I just chose to do Incursus blueprint. The reason why that shield um, skill came up and was completed was I had gone down one of the skill plans for mining as an alpha. So that was loaded in there. So now I've got to kind of readjust. Do I want to keep going with the mining so I can maximize that first as an alpha and then switch over to the skills I need to fly the Incursus for the best? Or do I do the opposite? You know, well, I'm going to stay with the mining skills first and get those up and running while this ship here is in research. Now, I don't think we're going to find out. Now, I know this station does research, okay? Um, and, but I can't remember if you have to have a research skill or if the research skill um, just allows you more research slots. If I remember correctly, two alphas can only have one research slot, but we're about to find out. So rather than, I'm going to try this first. If it doesn't work, we'll look at the skill tree and we'll dig a little bit deeper into it. So let's go ahead and use this. Come on up, buddy. It's really weird how the industry screen takes longer to load up than anything else. It's very strange. There we go. Okay, So in here, first thing we want to do is research our um, materials, right? And if you notice here, I've got one job open. There it is. Okay, so this is one thing that I really like, the small incremental upgrades that Eve has done over time. Just by hovering over this, it shows me the skills that I can get to increase my ability to do a certain action. Now, it's not everywhere yet, but there's a lot of little nice um, gameplay bonuses. These weren't here when I first started playing 10, 12 years ago. Sometimes you forget the amount of work that goes into making these upgrades. Um, so as you can see here, if you read the little pop-up here, I don't know if you can read that or if it's blurred, it says 0 out of 1 maximum science jobs currently active. Um, and if I remember correctly, uh, then it's got two skills that I can increase that with: laboratory operation and advanced laboratory operation. But I cannot get those skills or use those skills until if I were to go Omega. Very important. Current science job control range. So I can only control this science job if I'm in the station. If I go Omega, I get scientific networking, and that will increase the distance away. So I don't always have to fly back to the station to update my skilling. But none of that is available to me as an alpha. I can only do one job at a time. So we're going to start this one off just to get it going. Now, we're going to change the time. I'm not going to go super duper into research, but um, I'm not going to go all the way up here, but uh, wow, it's been a while. I need to increase the amount of time. I'm looking over here. That's 3 hours of research time, 7 hours, 18 hours. So um, if I research the material for 18 hours and 40 minutes, it will lower the cost of my materials to use for the ship by 5%. That's pretty good. It incrementally gets larger and larger. Boom, 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 boom. 59 days will get me to 10%. I'm just going to throw it in at 5 hours right now, for only the fact that I don't want to lock myself into 59 days sitting there, or even 24 days, or even 10 days if I'm making a mistake right now. I always like to do this kind of with my blueprints way back in the day. Um, get it started so that I can, if something else, like I go on these brain farts and then I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to do this, this, and this. Tomorrow, 18 hours from now, or somewhere near that, just after that, I'll probably go in and recheck this. Um, and if things are going well, then I will add on a few more. If I figure out that I want to throw something else into there, I can, but I'll at least get the 5% bonus on it. So I'm not locking myself into that 59 days. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start here. And if I'm not mistaken, if I were to pick the 59 days, oops, industry job cannot be submitted. Why can it not be submitted? Do I need skills? It says cannot be, job has, okay. That happens every once in a while. Is it? No, the job cost has changed. Okay, let's drop out of here again real quick. We're gonna cost change for some reason. We got 5, boom, start. Okay, every once in a while when you're trying to set up these, a cost thing within the system will change, so you have to reset it. So that blueprint is in there for 18 hours, 19 hours basically. Um, and it gives me something. I'm not wasting any time. Is there a way to power game a little bit of your alpha characters? I'm not going to do this, but you can do one thing. Even though you can't get all those other laboratories up and running, if you were to create 3 characters on your one alpha account, you could actually throw in the a blueprint for each character. If I was truly power gaming right now, I would make 3 characters and have that started. I don't care about that. we're just gonna get this going. Now I can just go mine for a little while, um, and start looking at how I want to outfit the ship. I'll grab the other blueprints over the course of the next day or so, and think about that. And it'll be very inexpensive, and I'll just increase my ore and mineral incre uh, intake, and it'll also get me to start thinking about my skills, what skills I need to get, what ore I need to get, that sort of thing. So this has caused me to move that next level. Once I build my first security or my first ship, then I will go and do some level 1 missions with it, and that sort of thing. On a side note, very easily, could I just go buy the ship that I want? Yes. But that doesn't help me with my goal of trying to learn some manufacturing from a very basic level and slowly working my way up. So, just a quick video tonight. Just want to pop that in. Hopefully, I didn't talk too much. Probably next video, I'll go down some sort of weird rabbit hole again. But again, if you want to check out the videos, I'm trying to do them in chronological order. So there should be a playlist in the description. Feel free to hit that up. Other than that, that's all I got. Hey, you guys, fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however that you want, and I'll talk to you later. Have a good one. Bye bye.